Hey y'all, and welcome to the PreMed Voice, the podcast where your voice is heard. I'm your host, Peyton Smith, and today we have a gentleman by the name of Gregory Proctor. Gregory's going to be talking to us about rec letters. Now, rec letters, as all of you guys know, are something that one day we're all going to have to inquire from either our mentors or professors. And I don't know about you guys, but as my application year sneaks up on me, I'm getting a little bit nervous about getting the right rec letters that are going to give me my best chance to get into med school. So Gregory's got some great information about him, so make sure you guys are listening to him, maybe taking some notes. But without further ado, here is Gregory Proctor.
Turn up, let's go. Let's go.
PreMed Voice.
Hello, PreMed Star. This is Gregory Proctor. I'm a post-bac pre-med student applying this cycle with a projected entry into medical school in the year 2019. I graduated with a Bachelor's of Science degree in Fire Science Management from American Military University. To give a little insight into myself, I'm originally from my nation's capital, Washington, D.C. I was a civilian firefighter in the area. After the September 11th attacks occurred, I joined the Air Force as a firefighter. I've been married to my lovely wife, named LaJuan, for nearly 15 years. I've traveled to 5 of the 7 continents of this world. We currently reside in Texas, and I'm working as a flight paramedic in a rural/suburban interface transporting seriously injured and critically ill patients from remote locations to definitive care. Today's podcast is going to focus on the letter of recommendation and what you need to do to secure the best possible letter of recommendation that you possibly can so that it complements the awesomeness of you. 2 things I like to focus on with the letter of recommendation is professional relationship building skills and turning failures into a positive. It's going to be a 1-question true-false pop quiz that will be answered later on. But that question is it possible for you to obtain a letter of recommendation from a science major professor that you never took a class with? And again, the answer is going to come to that question a little later in this segment. So the first part, the professional relationship building skills. You started this journey, or you're in progress with this journey, or you're near the pre-med journey, you're getting the application together, and you've been told by advisors and physician mentors you need to have a great letter of recommendation. As we all know through our own personal research, the letters of recommendation from the science major professors are actually going to carry the most weight, because that's going to speak to your ability to handle the rigors of the coursework that is going to be imposed upon you during medical school. I remember one of my first pre-med advising sessions was that basically every semester of medical school equates to roughly 25 semester hours of coursework. It's a lot. But you're doing it, and you can do it, and you will do it. But getting back to professional relationship building, it's not enough, especially in today's time with so much competition and so much awesomeness and everything that's going on out there, to simply take a class, get an A, and go up to the professor midterm or near the end. Hey, sir. Hey, ma'am. Can you please write me a letter of recommendation? You want this individual to know and understand a little bit about yourself. This professor has office hours. Even if you have a command presence and understanding of the material, it's not going to hurt to drop in once in a while to show your face and have him or her remember who you are. There's so much availability of obtaining information on the internet these days. as we're navigating these courses, we're going to these forums, ratemyprofessor.com, to see who is most stringent or more rigorous, or who's easy, if there's such a thing along this journey. But there's other things, information we should be looking at. We should be looking at the professor's bio. We should see what interested them. What did they do in research? Is there anything in their bio that remotely correlates with an interest of yours, or something that you like, that you can connect with this professor on some level? So you can strike up a conversation and have them going from looking at you in class from, oh, you're a familiar face, to saying, hey, that's Mary, or hey, that's John. That's what you want. You want the relationship to get to the point where when you're in a crowded room, or a crowded classroom rather, that the professor is saying, hey to you. Because that's you've built a connection, you've established a connection. And although the professor is a science major and they pursued some sort of research in a science major, medicine is very much the same way. Even if you're not going to do an MD, PhD program, you are going to be a medical detective that is going to be researching things with every single patient encounter. So there is something in their background that you will be able to connect with that will help you better connect with them and help you secure this letter that you are seeking. So now let's talk about my second part here. Turning failures into positives. My wife says you have to know how to turn lemons into lemonade. Okay. Now, a few minutes ago, I spoke about, is it possible to get a letter from a professor that you've never taken a class with? And I'm going to tell you what the answer is. Yes. I remember I've been taking my post-bac courses at the University of North Texas, and I failed general biology too. I received a letter grade of a D. They have a unique program where they do team teaching with some of their science courses. And so one professor teaches for the first 8 weeks, and then another professor teaches for the second 8 weeks. Well, there was a big disparity between their teaching styles. The first professor would lecture on 5 chapters and give a 50-question exam. Seems reasonable. Well, when the second professor came, he saw fit to lecture on 9 chapters and only gave a 40-question test. And for his final, he lectured on 7 chapters and gave a 40-question test again. That was a style of teaching that I was not accustomed to. It was a hard adjustment. I petitioned my grade. I went to the chair of biology. I set up a meeting, met with Dr. Govern, and I respectfully petitioned my grade. And he explained to me the process is that I would have to articulate my argument on paper. My written document would go to a panel of 3 biology professors for review, and they would determine if the grade would be changed or not. And I took his instructions, went home. The next day, I came back. I wrote a white paper. And for those of you who do not know what a white paper is, you can Google it. Maybe we can have another segment on that, but it's a very important document. What a white paper does, it spells out a discussion, an issue, a recommended action, and impact if that recommendation is not followed. And I did my argument, I articulated my argument on one page, one piece of paper. Went to Dr. Govern's office, and he was so impressed with my white paper. He would pick it up. He would put it down. He would talk to me. He would pick it back up. He told me he was going to process it. He sent it off. I got word about a week later. The committee rejected my petition. However, in the spirit of turning lemons into lemonade, I met with Dr. Govern. He was giving me the news, and he learned of my journey, my desire, what I was wanting to do. I want to be a physician, my background. Anyway, this conversation ended up leading to that he offered to write me a letter for medical school. This is the chair of biology at University of North Texas, a professor whom I've never taken a class with, offered to write me a letter for my medical school packet because he was so impressed with how I articulated my argument. I lost a battle, but I gained something so valuable from that. And I retook general biology 2 in the summertime, and I passed with an A, did just fine. So it is very important that through this journey, you're going to be frustrated. You are going to face adversity. You are going to have doors closed, but you got to keep moving. You got to keep strategizing. You got to be looking toward the next thing. You have to do yourself a favor and really look at what is it that you can learn or salvage from a failure. And if you were successful the first time, how can you amplify that and make it better? But no matter what you're doing, you got to keep moving. So here it is again, failure in one aspect turn into a totally positive thing. I totally encourage you to not only sit in the front row, not only get A's, but really take a little bit of time and interest in these professors that you believe you want these letters from and engage them. They are investing time in you when they ask you for your bio or your resume so they can put your letter together. Invest some time and find out a little bit about them. Because it will end up paying off dividends for you. You do not get a second chance at a first impression during the interview process. And you want your awesomeness in all facets to be demonstrated to the best of your ability. And you have to have people speaking for you. And you have to go that extra mile. And you can do it. You are doing it right now. But continue to do it. Continue to be innovative. As we come to a close with the letter of recommendation and the professional relationship building and turning the failure into a positive, just keep on your grind. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm very glad that you checked in today. I invite you to please subscribe to the PreMed Voice podcast on iTunes and on Google. If you have questions specifically for me, I'm on PreMed Star, of course. Gregory Proctor with OR at the end. Look me up. Send the connection request. More than happy to answer questions for you. Want to talk about the white paper some more, articulating an argument or a point of view in a respectful and a professional manner? Got you. Or whatever else it is I can help you with. I'm hoping that you have a really good day or evening. Remember to take care of yourselves, proper nutrition, get you some exercise in, keep your mind open, and don't give up. Have a great one.
Awesome stuff right there, Gregory. Thank you so much for taking your time out of your day to record that for us. I really enjoyed the story about that unexpected rec letter you received from the UNT chair of biology. I think that's a great lesson and reminder to all of us pre-med students that you really never know who's watching you. So it's really important to just put your best foot forward at all times, and unexpected things can really happen to you. So thank you again, Gregory. I hope all of you guys out there listening enjoyed that just as much as I did. Now, I do have a few announcements for you guys. One, do not forget about that webinar September 6th with West Virginia School of Osteopathic Medicine. They're going to have some great information for us, so make sure you get registered for that. Two, make sure all of you guys are on PreMedStar.com. It's super easy to set up an account, and it's going to be really helpful to all of you guys. Gregory's on there, like he said, and he's happy to answer any questions about what he talked about today. I'm on there as well if you guys would like to ask me any questions, or if you would just like to say hello. I would love to hear from all of you guys. So don't forget to get on there, PreMedStar.com. Now, of course, if you would like to be featured on this podcast, email us at voice@PreMedStar.com, and we'll get you all the details for that. Now, of course, don't forget to press that subscribe button on whatever platform you listen to us. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to let us be a part of it. We hope you have a great rest of your day, and we will see you guys all next week. Thank you.
Turn up. Let's go.